The Euphrates River is drying up.
Millions in Syria and Iraq are facing water shortages as the region's longest river, the Euphrates, dries up.
And what's being uncovered has left people speechless. The Euphrates River has been a lifeline for civilizations for thousands of years. However, as the water levels drop dramatically, something unexpected has been uncovered, sparking discussions among experts and religious scholars. What was hidden beneath the river all this time? And could this discovery change the way people understand history and what's ahead? Join us as we break down the shocking findings that have the world asking some serious questions. Euphrates, haunting decline. For thousands of years, the Euphrates River has been a crucial part of human history. It runs through modern-day Turkey, Syria, and Iraq, shaping civilizations along the way. People depended on it for farming, trade, and everyday life, especially in ancient Mesopotamia, one of the earliest hubs of human development. This river played a crucial role in the development of the Fertile Crescent, a region where agriculture first flourished and ultimately spread worldwide. The Euphrates has always been more than just a river. It is a symbol, deeply rooted in history and religion. The Bible describes it as one of the 4 rivers flowing from the Garden of Eden. But beyond its spiritual significance, it has shaped real-world events for centuries. It served as a natural boundary between East and West, playing a significant role in wars, migrations, and the shifting of power across Asia and North Africa. And it's not just history, it's archaeology too. Along its banks, researchers have found tools and early human remains dating back over 450,000 years, offering a glimpse into the distant past. The Euphrates runs over 1,700 miles, starting in the Armenian mountains and flowing to the Persian Gulf. Along the way, it joins with the Tigris to form the famous Fertile Crescent, cutting through Turkey's deep gorges, Syria's lowlands, and the heart of Iraq before reaching the Gulf. But today, this once powerful river is disappearing. Water levels are dropping fast, putting the future of the land and the people who depend on it at serious risk. But as the river fades and the land cracks open, something more than environmental collapse is being exposed. Something tied to legend, mystery, and forgotten history. Could the vanishing Euphrates be uncovering secrets that challenge everything people thought they knew? Giants beneath Euphrates waters. In many areas of Iraq, the lower part of the Euphrates is drying up fast. What used to be fertile land is now cracked. Lifeless soil and riverbeds. Villages are struggling. Crops are dying without irrigation, and fishing economies are collapsing as toxic, stagnant pools replace flowing water. The Fertile Crescent, once known as the birthplace of agriculture, is turning into a barren wasteland. Barely resembling what it was just 10 years ago, the Euphrates is not just a lifeline for human survival. It is wrapped in ancient legends and myths. One of the most fascinating stories is that of King Gilgamesh, the legendary ruler of Uruk. His life became the foundation of the Epic of Gilgamesh, a masterpiece of Middle Eastern literature written approximately 2,000 years before the birth of Christ. According to the tale, when he passed on, the river itself parted so his tomb could be built beneath it, burying the great king beneath the very waters that had sustained his kingdom. In 2003, the mystery took another twist when German archaeologists, led by Jörg Fassbender, announced the discovery of an ancient tomb. They believed it could be linked to giants that once walked the earth. According to reports, they unearthed massive human-like remains and sent them for scientific testing. As expected, the discovery sparked controversy, with some questioning whether the findings were being deliberately withheld or if they had ever existed at all. According to legend, Gilgamesh wasn't just any ruler. He was a giant, standing at a towering 17 feet tall. The son of a Sumerian king and a Mesopotamian goddess, he ruled over Uruk, a once great city that now lies in ruins. If he existed, His final resting place might be right where his kingdom once thrived. The 2003 discovery sparked speculation about whether his tomb had finally been uncovered, or if something entirely different was buried beneath the Euphrates. Now, as the river dries up, ancient stories are resurfacing, prompting us to question how much history remains undiscovered. Gilgamesh's fall and quest. Gilgamesh wasn't just any king, he was a demigod with incredible power. He ruled with strength, fought wars, and sometimes acted more like a tyrant than a leader. His power meant he could do whatever he wanted. But eventually, his people had had enough. Their cries reached the gods, and Anu, the chief deity, decided to create a challenger. He formed Enkidu, a wild man strong enough to face Gilgamesh. When the two finally fought, the battle was intense, lasting for days. Gilgamesh won, but instead of seeing Enkidu as an enemy, he respected his strength, and they became close friends. When Enkidu passed on, Gilgamesh was devastated. His grief changed him from a proud warrior to a man desperately searching for answers about life and the afterlife. Losing his closest friend made him question everything. He started to wonder what the point of power was and whether success mattered if everyone eventually passed on. That sorrow sent him on an epic journey, a quest to uncover life's meaning and find the secret to escaping mortality itself. For years, people believed the Epic of Gilgamesh was merely a myth, a poetic tale rather than actual history. Many even doubted that Gilgamesh was a real person. However, that all changed when Jörg Fassbender and his team reportedly uncovered an ancient burial site and over 100,000 hectares of land that matched the descriptions from the epic. They claim to have found Babylonian houses and properties buried deep under the desert, structures that had been hidden for thousands of years. If true, these discoveries could link one of the oldest stories in human history to actual places and events. What makes these discoveries even more shocking is their timing. As the Euphrates River dries up, it's revealing more and more secrets from the past. Some believe these findings may be connected to biblical prophecies, possibly indicating events related to the return of the Messiah. But it's not just about Gilgamesh's supposed tomb. Scientists have uncovered other significant discoveries as the river recedes. One thing is clear: the Euphrates still has many hidden stories waiting to be revealed. As the Euphrates continues to dry up, it's not just prophecies that are drawing attention, it is the sheer amount of discoveries being uncovered. Experts are stunned by what's emerging from the riverbed, raising a big question about what happens next. Secrets beneath the Euphrates bed. As the Euphrates River shrinks, 6 major civilizations emerge: Sumerian, Akkadian, Assyrian, Greek, Byzantine, and Islamic. Each era left behind unique artifacts, revealing just how deeply the river was tied to the rise of ancient societies. Even though Syria built the Euphrates Dam in 1968, many historical sites were lost to flooding. But not everything disappeared. Some monuments and priceless artifacts were rescued. Along the river, hundreds of Syriac Christian monasteries and cemeteries still stand. And when sunlight hits the lake's clear waters, people can sometimes see burial sites shimmering beneath the surface. In the western district of Raqqa, graves have started to emerge on the right bank of the lake, though the rugged left bank remains largely unexplored. Across the border in Iraq, ancient cities and monuments are reappearing. One striking example is the city of Talbas in Anna, Iraq, which surfaced as the water levels dropped, immediately catching the attention of archaeologists. Mohammed Jassim, an Iraqi expert, reported that the Haditha Dam's shrinking waters exposed at least 80 historical monuments. These discoveries have sparked both excitement and urgency, as researchers race to examine them before they're lost again. So, archaeologists in Iraq's Kurdistan province just uncovered something incredible, a city from the Mitanni Empire that's been buried for 3,400 years. This happened when floodwaters in the Tigris River basin receded, revealing ancient ruins. What makes this discovery even more interesting is that it's the city of Zakiku, which was mentioned in Old Babylonian records. Researchers have discovered structures such as a palace, a massive wall, and even cuneiform tablets, which could help people learn more about how people lived in the past. One of the most surprising things? Some of the sun-dried mud walls survived being underwater for over 40 years. Thanks to layers of sediment, they were somehow protected, making this an incredible glimpse into the past. Archaeologists were shocked to discover that Zakiku was likely buried by a powerful earthquake thousands of years ago. Ironically, this disaster helped preserve the city under layers of rubble. With the Euphrates River shrinking, more pieces of ancient history are being uncovered, revealing just how much is still hidden beneath these waters. Prophecies tied to Euphrates. In Islamic tradition, the Euphrates River is linked to a striking prophecy about the end of days. A hadith of Prophet Muhammad describes a time when the river will dry up and reveal a hidden mountain of gold. The treasure will be so irresistible that people will fight over it, resulting in devastating losses. Only 1 in every 100 will survive. The hadith carries a strong warning: whoever finds the gold should leave it alone, as its discovery is one of the signs marking the approach of the Day of Judgment. Whether taken as a literal event or a symbolic lesson, it remains one of the most well-known prophecies tied to the river. Christian scripture also connects the Euphrates River to end-time prophecy, particularly in the book of Revelation. In Revelation 16, verse 12, John of Patmos describes the river drying up as an essential event that sets the stage for the second coming of Jesus Christ. This passage connects the river's physical state to a broader divine timeline, illustrating how earthly events contribute to Christian eschatology and the fulfillment of prophecy. The Euphrates is not just mentioned in the New Testament, it also appears right at the start of the Bible. In Genesis 2, verse 14, it's called Phrath and is listed as one of the 4 rivers flowing out from the Garden of Eden, placing it at the heart of the creation story. This connection ties the river to humanity's beginnings, making it significant not just as a physical landmark, but as a symbol woven through multiple religious traditions. These religious references show that the Euphrates is more than just a river. It's a powerful symbol tied to humanity's understanding of beginnings, endings, and destiny. As its waters continue to recede, both believers and scholars are paying close attention, wondering if ancient prophecies are unfolding in real time. Other secrets beneath the waters. The Euphrates has long been tied to the legends of the Anunnaki, a group of deities from Sumerian, Akkadian, Assyrian, and Babylonian mythology. These gods, said to be the offspring of the sky god An and the earth goddess Kai, were believed to have shaped human destiny and controlled forces of nature. The Book of Enoch, an ancient Jewish apocalyptic text, explores the story of the Watchers, angels who descended to earth and fathered the Nephilim, a race of giants. According to the text, these beings shared forbidden knowledge with humanity, leading to corruption. As punishment, they were bound beneath the earth, awaiting judgment. The Book of Enoch doesn't specifically say that these entities were buried at the Euphrates, but it does describe them being confined underground. Meanwhile, the Book of Revelation in the New Testament talks about 4 angels bound at the Euphrates, who are released in the end times to trigger major events. Because of this, some have drawn connections between the 2 texts, suggesting a shared theme about powerful beings being restrained in relation to the Euphrates River. The Anunnaki are a key part of Mesopotamian mythology, connected to the ancient Sumerians, Akkadians, Assyrians, and Babylonians. Some myths describe them as rulers of destiny and fertility, while others portray them as judges of the underworld. Ancient texts, including Sumerian and Babylonian records, document their names and roles, showing that they were not mysterious outsiders, but central figures in Mesopotamian religion and culture. Their influence shaped beliefs about power, the afterlife, and the forces governing human life. When discussing the Euphrates River, the Anunnaki have become the focus of speculative theories, with some attempting to link them to the Watchers and Nephilim mentioned in ancient Jewish texts, such as the Book of Enoch. The Watchers were fallen angels who broke divine law, while the Nephilim, described as giants or mighty warriors, were their offspring. Despite these comparisons, there's no direct historical or textual connection between the Anunnaki and these figures from Jewish or Christian traditions. Most of these links come from modern reinterpretations, often influenced by ideas about ancient astronauts, lost civilizations, or extraterrestrial contact, none of which are supported by traditional Mesopotamian sources. Roots of civilization. Unearthed, the earliest human activity along the Euphrates was concentrated in its upper regions, known as the Fertile Crescent. Archaeologists have found Acheulean stone tools in places like the Sajir Basin and the El Kaum Oasis, along with remains of Homo erectus dating back roughly 450,000 years. In Upper Mesopotamia, urban development took longer, but still had a significant impact. Cities like Ebla, Mari, and Tel Leilan became important cultural and political centers, shaping the broader history of the ancient Near East. However, while the Euphrates once anchored the rise of great city-states and ancient empires, its story has since been reshaped by the weight of modern conflict and the need for survival. How did this river, once a cradle of civilization, become a lifeline caught between history, war, and the pressing needs of today? Euphrates under war and need. Between 2014 and 2017, during the Syrian and Iraqi civil wars, the Islamic State controlled large parts of the Euphrates, using the river to secure key regions. As military offensives intensified, its hold began to weaken. In Syria, its final territorial defeat came at the Battle of Baghouz, while in Iraq, the Western Iraq offensive ended its control. These years of conflict changed the Euphrates from a vital water source into a battleground, leaving lasting effects on the region that are still felt today. Despite the conflicts that have shaped its history, the Euphrates has always been a crucial resource for millions of people. Its waters have sustained communities for generations, and with modern infrastructure, its role has only expanded. Today, hydropower stations, irrigation systems, and water pipelines span the region, supplying electricity, drinking water, and agricultural support. Without it, large parts of Syria and Iraq would face serious challenges in survival. Syria's Lake Assad, formed by the Tabqa Dam, is a crucial water source for Aleppo, even though the city is 75 kilometers west of the river valley. Beyond supplying drinking water, the lake supports a state-run fishing industry, contributing to the local economy. This is a clear example of how the Euphrates continues to shape daily life, not just through its historical significance, but as a vital resource in the modern era. In Iraq, the Haditha Dam plays a critical role, with a newly restored power line now supplying electricity directly to Baghdad. This highlights how the Euphrates continues to influence life across borders, not just as a historical and cultural landmark, but as an essential piece of economic and social infrastructure. Even through war, drought, and political challenges, the river remains a symbol of resilience, proving that modern survival is still deeply connected to the past. What do you think about the Euphrates revealing so many ancient secrets as it dries up? Could these new finds change the way people view old myths about gods, giants, and lost civilizations? Share your thoughts in the comments section, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing videos. Also, click on the next video on your screen. You will enjoy it.